Now for our coveted Karen Franzini Leadership Award. This honors the legacy of a woman who has made an incredibly lasting impact on New Jersey's business community. Karen was the former longtime Chief Executive Officer at the State Economic Development Authority, where she worked tirelessly to promote economic development, entrepreneurialism, and growth in the state of New Jersey for over 18 years. She was a member of the NJBIA Board of Trustees and unfortunately had her untimely death in 2017. To this day, I have to say, when I think of Karen, right, if I have to describe Karen, the words that jump to me are mentor, friend, rock star, role model. And when I'm challenged some days in making a business decision, I literally will look across, because I have a picture of her over on my board, and I'd say, what would Karen Franzini do? How would Karen Franzini approach this? And what can I remember about what Karen Franzini taught me so that I can be the best that I can be every day? She was a consummate deal maker, an incredibly well-respected woman, and it is our honor and privilege to be able each year to recognize what she has contributed and then how those traits carry forward in women business leaders here in the state of New Jersey today. We began this specific tribute 2 years ago, and we've honored two amazing women in the world of business with that Karen Franzini Award. The first year, Ann Evans Estabrook, and the second year, Linda Bowden. I know Linda is here. I don't think Ann is here, but I want a round of applause for those two women. And Linda, please stand up. And prior to that time, because we had the benefit of having Karen with us at this event when we launched it, we had an award called the Inspiration Award, and it was in the same vein that we wanted to recognize the women who were making changes and strides here in the state of New Jersey. And the first 2 years of that award were presented to Sally Glick and Carol Stillwell. And I know Sally's here today. Sally, please stand up so we can thank you. There she is. These four women are incredible role models and mentors, just like Karen was. Ladies, thank you for all that you do for the state of New Jersey. This year, I'm pleased to say that the amazing lineage continues with this year's honoree, Amy Mansue. Now, as most of you know, Amy's the Executive Vice President and CEO of RWJBarnabas Health. Okay, RWJ people, come on, you can rock that house. She's a healthcare executive whose trailblazing career is both public service and private sector, and she's made a role model for people in both through generations. She brings more than 30 years of experience in healthcare and government service to her current position at RWJ Health, which encompasses 11 hospitals, more than 45,000 employees, and manages the care for over 5 million people, and they do it incredibly. Prior to joining RWJ Health, Amy served as 12 years as president and CEO of Children's Specialized Hospital. I think that's when we first met. And chief strategy officer at Robert Wood Johnson Health System. Now, in public sector, and that's when she went private, but she had an amazing public sector career that led up to that, beginning as a legislative aide in former Governor Jim Florio's congressional office, and later she served as a deputy commissioner at the New Jersey Department of Human Services in the Florio administration, where she oversaw programs for children and people with disabilities. I think that's where she got her passion and then pursued Children's Specialized Hospital from there. Amy also served as Deputy Chief of Staff to former Governor James McGreevey and co-chair of the Budget Transition Advisory Committee for now Governor Phil Murphy. Amy serves on many boards, and her community service is unprecedented. The New Jersey Hospital Association, the State Chamber of Commerce, Rutgers University, the New Brunswick Development Corp., which is DevCo, the Middlesex Water Company, and numerous nonprofits. And what she contributes to our community, you know, when I say that great businesses make great communities, it's great business leaders like Amy Mansue that makes great communities. Thank you for your community service, Amy. When I think back to the traits of Karen Franzini, I see the living proof today in Amy Mansue. Amy, would you please come up and accept our Karen Franzini Award?
Thank you all very much. It is a tremendous honor. Karen was a dear friend, and so I have done this a couple of times already to practice to get through without choking up. And I understand in one of our breakout sessions there was a whole discussion about cry, no cry. So get over yourselves, that may happen. Just telling you right now, for those of you who had an issue with it. Can we start by please joining me to congratulate the group of leaders that we just saw awarded? I want to be clear. You all are outstanding in your field, But Michelle said it, but I think it needs to be reiterated. You are the hope for the future. You will face obstacles. Whatever you think you face now, you got no idea what's coming, my friends, all right? But here's the joy. All these people are cheering for you today and will be cheering for you tomorrow. So congratulations on your great award. It is an honor to receive the Karen Franzini Award. Okay, so far, once I got through it without crying, so that's good. Anne, Linda, Sally, those who've come before. It's ironic, right? Because all of these women have mentored me, guided me, sometimes pushed me into the street when I needed to be pushed into the street. And I really want to say a special thank you to Michelle. It's been a tremendous gift to get to work with her as she entered NJBIA. She called me up one day and she said, look, I think we should know each other. And so from there, every time I needed something or if she needed something, it was an easy ask. And that's how you do it. You pick up and you extend some kindness. And that's what Karen Franzini did. Every single time she had the opportunity. I was going through things and looking at some of Karen's comments and writings that she did. And my first memory of Karen, I was 26 years old. I was a policy advisor in the Florio administration, completely over my head. Of course, I thought I knew everything. And Karen had been in the Whitman administration, worked for Feather O'Connor as treasurer, and she was one of the few people that got to what we call holdover. She served at the privilege of the governor, and we kept her. A Republican governor kept a Republican who stayed in a Democratic administration. And it was interesting because I have this vivid memory of being on the second floor in the State House, and Karen would follow or walk alongside, depending on which man she was making smarter that day. And it was always very deliberate. Karen was that person who gave the information to be able to make the change that she wanted to see. Her family started in Atlantic City. Her parents, what you all may know today of Gordon's Alley, Karen's parents started and they sold clothes. And the reason her father started with aunt and uncle was because they sold a bunch of kids around town and there wasn't a clothing store, and so they started it. And Karen learned very quickly how important it is to listen to people and how important a business is in a community and what the difference it can make. And that business grew over and over and over again, and Karen will tell you that her legacy comes from learning how to do that retail business. And she always had passion for her community. It was never about beating her chest or wearing her things on her sleeve, which I never learned that apparently, but she was there. She was authentic, she was passionate, and most importantly, she was kind. The last time I saw Karen, I was in Lambertville, and I was actually out for a run. I had spent the night with my girlfriends, and we had gone out, and it needed to run in the next morning, and so I was out on the road, not too far from where my girlfriend Sonia lives now, and Karen was walking the other way with another person, and I'm not a pretty runner, the whole bit. Gasping for my air, and so I thought, oh, please don't let me know these people. Please don't know that. Sure enough, it's Karen. She's like, oh, Amy, and she gives me the great big hug. I'm like, I stink. Please stay away from me. And she's like, no, talk to me. Tell me what's going on. Now, her cancer had just come back, right? Never said boo. Never about Karen. Never about my woe in life. Never about anything. Her children were the center of her soul. Her husband, her parents, and I say to you, you will have struggles. That's about life. It's not that they're not going to come. They're going to come. How you face them, what you do, what you care about, how you hold on, and how you ask for help. All right? I look a lot around the room, and I see a lot of younger faces. I guess now that at my age, a lot of people are younger than I am. But anyway, if you got stuff you got to work through, do it. Do it now. There are years of my life I wasted. Am I pretty enough? Am I smart enough? Am I thin enough? Am I whatever? You know what, guys? Here's the secret. None of it matters. Just be good enough. That's what Karen did. That's why it is so tremendously humbling to receive this award today. And I ask you to do what she did, and many of the women in the room that I look around have done. Extend a hand. Help somebody out. And don't forget to be kind. Thank you.